Welcome back. It's still Channel Sport this morning. We're carrying on with the show now, and still on the Super Eagles of Nigeria. There's a lot of reactions on trailing that particular camp in London. Toby Emmanuel, we'll still continue with your reactions. You were talking about the fact that you didn't like the fact that a lot of all these youngsters, British Nigerians, were allowed into camp. And but the few people out there that will actually say, is there anything wrong with trying to secure the futures of this kind of players? And if you want to consider the fact that Nigeria missed out on the likes of Dele Ali and some other players in the past.
Yeah, it's a good one. But my take on this is that we should not be going to be begging players to play for Nigeria. Let them show attitude. Now, we've seen parents coming to listen to Ibo's father that he's happy. It took him time to convince the young man, because the young man have not even been to the country, doesn't even understand how the system works. And those are the issues other players. We had Sonia Luku come to this program telling us there are a lot of more than 10 players skeptical about the system and everything. But it's a good thing, okay, let's bring them to come and see what they can offer and show. But it shouldn't be, we should be prioritizing them that is a necessity to come or we beg them to come and play for Nigeria. For me, I am not against the process, but what I'm saying, I'm not against the move, but I'm against the process. Now, because we didn't have opportunity to play the second friendly match, okay, let's see these guys. But there are some other players who also falling into the category that you could just get access to. I don't want to be calling
like which players? I mean, at what time? Because when you don't invite. Okay, let me come in here. When you don't invite a player, for instance, in your initial plan, and they're far away, you don't expect to get a ticket. I mean, get a ticket and start coming in another. They've got their plans, because that 10 days, they've already had things that they were going to do. So I think it would have been difficult for them to actually do that. So they felt, okay, those around here that came, why not just join the team and train and see what we can get?
And that was why the coaching crews, okay, let's see what we have at our disposal. Okay. But what I'm still saying, even at checking at our disposal, we should bring quality and not just quantity. So you feel those guys are not good enough at all? Some of the players there are playing for under 23 team, even the third team, not even on the second team, the third team of the team. So if we are having players like Olaino, who is a prospect, and you see he has what it takes, he's big, he's physical, we've seen him play. Somebody like me, I've monitored his play, they will bring it. But we should not have player like Hussein that we don't even know whatever. Go check his Man City. Go check how many matches he's played this season. Go check his position and go check what he's done for the Man City. Then you now see what I'm saying. Then even Chuba Akpom that was in Arsenal before he left this thing, we saw he could even get a regular play. Not even the first team, even the second team. He could even get a regular play because he was developing with Iwobi. He got to a stage, Iwobi went ahead of him, and he was just declining. And the club's okay, he had to just allow him to go. So at the time, we were even begging. Chuba Akpom came to Nigeria even ahead of Iwobi for the under-23. But today, Chuba Akpom is the same Chuba Akpom we are now. What is he adding to the Super Eagles? What is that thing that we don't have here? That's why I'm looking at what we have in our system here, and even other players abroad. But in all, it was a good thing. But we should not beg players who are not ready to put their commitment and responsibility to play for this country at the expense of players who are ready to go. That's just my take on that.
Okay, from the coach tweet from the Super Eagles Twitter handle, that's the official Twitter handle, tweeted that the coach says he will be back in Lagos next week to watch some MPFL games and also take a look at some home stars in action so as he continues to plan ahead. So it's like he's not just going to focus on this so-called again, all commerce kind of stuff that he talked about. Is also going to, look at those players at home. And also, he says that their immediate focus is preparations for the 2019 AFCON qualifiers. That's the one against South Africa in June, before they can even think about the one against Cameroon later any day. So that 10 days in camp, I think it was actually eventful.
Yeah, well, the camp was good. I mean, they got to play Senegal, highly rated side in Africa. Yeah, the Burkina Faso situation, very unfortunate. No one really saw that one coming. But in terms of the coach, Gennett Rowe, he's been criticized for not actually, looking the way of their own-based players. Someone like Stephen O'Day, who is the top scorer in the league with 12 goals, didn't get a look in at all. But now he says he's coming back to the country and he's going to watch all these guys play. But you don't seem too convinced that he actually has any interest in giving these guys a chance.
And whether we like it or not, in the past, the Super Eagles coaching job, they've always been players that coaches always want to work for. And we use the word that this is Sia boys, this is Keshi boys, this is Amadu boys, this is everywhere. Now we have few people who are working, who the coach believe he has his belief on, that is working with him. So those are the people that helped him to get most of these players abroad. Now coming home now, the coach have watched few matches. Watching those few matches does not give you the guarantee that these players will be invited. In the past, we've seen players who are invited are used as training materials by our own local coaches. Even when the foreign coach come here, also does the same thing. Going to the field to watch things, players play, and press 1 or 2 days. If you don't believe in them, if you don't believe in the goalkeeper that arrived on a Wednesday, a day before the match, then you not believe in a goalkeeper who arrived flew 11 hours from South Africa, and you made him your first choice. Then what does he speak to the local? It kills the confidence. It kills the belief in that. Now let's talk about Stephen Odi. A lot of people don't know that this is his second season. For those of us who play or watch youth development program, Stevie Odi was the captain of Dairy Farm Secondary School. In 2012, they won the Principal Cup in Lagos. I interviewed him. I followed him from when that young man was around 14, 15 then. Now he's 19 now. He has played youth football. And a lot of us, even the NFL Vice President was there in the final. A lot of people say, this guy is going places. And today, he has played some other organized tournaments sponsored by other corporate organizations, telecommunications, that they went to Dubai or somewhere to go and play. He also led his team. We have in Lagos, the home of football is Agege. We have schools who play good school football. Okay. And at the end of the day, Stevie Ogde translated. It was just unfortunate that he was not able to go to the under-17 level. If he has gone to under-17 level, he would have just been like Kelechi Iheanacho. Because even when he went to under-17, they say it was too small. Because he was a young, fantastic player, schoolboy. Now, 2 seasons he has played, and he has been able to grow. At this stage, what next do you need from this man? We are not saying he should come to the Super Eagles to play immediately. You bring him like what those young chaps that were.
Do you think MFM would have released him? You know, they are not on break. I mean, would they have
no. The national team. It's a whether you like it or not. It's even a plus to their team that you have a player there. What I'm saying for me, I don't want us to rush Stevie Odi. Okay. I'm on that page also. Then, but we could also develop players, building their confidence, their morale. Because whether you play the best or do anything, if you have that psychology, just like in the league here, every player knows that you cannot win away. That's a very poor mentality in Nigerian league, that they will just go there, they know that they will. But every player now knows that whether you play well or not, whether they watch you or not, you will not be invited. It's a very bad impression we need to release. When you have 2 or 3 players invited, even if they didn't start, even they didn't play, let them train with the bonding Genetra achieved with this British-born player. Yeah. Will have still achieved that, but we understand 1 or 2 issues that, like we discussed off camera, that's what made it not possible. But let the coaching crew believe in our league. If you don't develop our league, nobody will develop it. Okay. Because if the British league or the system didn't develop those players, we will not see them to use or invite us to this point.
Okay, but next week is going to be coming to. He's going to be watching most of these players, and obviously he's going to be seeing some of them.
Invite.
You know what? Maybe we'll just go for a little break, not a full break. But the game between Aqua United and Ifeanyi, but that game ended 1-1. Enjoy. We'll come back. We'll talk more about sport, especially the papers, and also Cristiano Ronaldo. What's he up to these days? You'll find out.
Our right fullbacks today, and we'll see how they all propel their teams. It's not been too good for FC Ifeanyi. And Pascal Seka has just done that. Very first match, Aqua United taking on FC Ifeanyi at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, otherwise known as the Nest of Champions. Talking about the other teams that are very, very prolific, MFM leads the other team. 7/7 they do have at home. As we see, FC Ifeanyi and a shot that was, and he slipped. Yes, he slipped under him for the very first goal of this encounter. Whatever came over Olufemi Kayode, I simply do not know. A shot all the way from 20-yard box. He couldn't clutch that shot. Well, what about this for jubilation for Dresa Bamba, the Ivoirian in goal? Olufemi Kayode will not be happy when he gets to see this on playback.
Well, you can see that he just lines up to take what I'll call a hopeful shot and goal. And how this managed to get under Olufemi Kayode, I'll never know.
Good to see that the supporters of Aqua United have not downed their drums. See drumming, cheering, that's the way we should. That's where you propel your team to winning positions. might not have scored yet, but they've been banging their drums. Musa Newman with an opportunity. He squares the ball out, and that was knocked into the net.
Finally.
Musa Newman bringing the ball out to Al-Hassan Ibrahim. Al-Hassan's 6th goal.
Finally, he managed to evade his tackles. He managed to evade the defenders have paid such close attention to him, wriggles into defense, and this time he doesn't make any good. You can see with that run, he's there, he picks up the ball, and he has only one thing in mind. As a born goal scorer, he knew where the posts were, and he buried it. He didn't hesitate, he took it up.
What a wonderful opportunity, but it's been infringed upon in front of the 18-yard box. I thought he had broken loose. I thought he was going. Unfortunately, he was infringed upon. He was almost through on goal. And the red down was, perhaps Elu was the last man. But sweet first touch, of course that was it. It was just him as Valentine Wabili strove to come. A good-eyed referee Akitunde saw all of that. That's Dadzi, Kojo. And they are building on this. That's Ngoma Luamba. But he couldn't really do much. And that's a long punt of the referee's whistle, the final act of the game. Tried as Aqua did, they managed to equalize, but they couldn't get a winning goal. And Drissa Bamba, that was a moment ago, rolling on the floor as if he would be hospitalized. He's taking on the famous walk by that's Drissa Bamba, Ivoirian.
No, that's really funny. This was a player that was almost dying.
And therefore, after 90 minutes plus added time, it's ended here at the Godswill at Abio International Stadium. It's ended Aqua United 1.
Well, I think that dance step is actually interesting. But if you had checked when that guy fell, I was rolling on the ground and all that and everything. But we know where that's coming from, remember? Jerry Congo, TP Mazambi, goalkeeper. And that's a good one. But he's not really a fantastic goalkeeper, yeah. But he needs to...
Securing a 1-1
Okay, but I love the way he flies anyway for the ball. I think that's